Yo, welcome back to Fighting with Friends. It's your boy, Brother Gaia, back again with another One Championship news segment where I break down some of the nice hot topics to come out of One Championship today. But before I do so, please drop a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We are approaching to the end of the year, so we want to end off nicely with a big bang. Obviously, we got some cool fight cards coming up, which I will talk about later in the show. But I want to start with the spicy stuff after what happened at one fight night 38. Excuse me, 37, no, 38, 38. 38, 37, 38, 38, 38. No, well, it's 37. But yeah, let me get straight into it. But please, guys, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like I said now earlier, we'll get into it with the first spicy story. So, the big thing that took place over the last fight card at One Championship was obviously the talk around Prajanchai taking on Aliff after Aliff beat Ramadan on Dash, and then Prajanchai was like, no, he'll fight Aliff, he'll fight Ramadan on Dash first, then fight Aliff, and it's caused a little bit of a not necessarily uproar, but it's caused some sort of backlash from the fan base around One Championship. So I'll bring it up on screen for you now. This was posted on Tetsuya's account on X. And no. Before that, now I'll talk about Tawanchai's one. Tawanchai's story before I get into Prajanchai's one. So Tawanchai had made this statement and was posted on Tetsuya's X account earlier today, or was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. No, today, the 9th. And this is what was said. I don't have any goals in Muay Thai right now, which I find kind of weird, by the way. I want to be the kickboxing champion and get my rematch against Noiri. I want to prove that I can do better. Now, to be quite honest with you, I find that a little bit of hogwash and a lot of bullshit, to be honest with you. I'm like, Tawanchai is better than that. I think he's too fixated on the loss against Noiri rather than actually focusing on defending the Muay Thai title, considering that the Muay Thai division is actually freaking stacked. There are contenders that are hungry for the championship. They want to fight against him for the championship, and he's excited on fighting a guy that's not even the champion anymore. You know what I mean? Tawanchai beat the guy that beat the guy that beat him. So it's like, let it go, bro. Let it go. You know what I'm saying? Because also, in my opinion, Tawanchai, I've watched almost all of his fights in One Championship. Not the ones outside of one, but all the ones from his debut all the way through. I've watched his fights. And to be quite frank, he's a much better Muay Thai fighter than he's kickboxing. He looks half the version of himself when he fights in kickboxing. He doesn't strike exactly the same. He seems to be a bit slower. He just doesn't fight. He doesn't have the same killer instinct when he's fighting in kickboxing. And I think a lot of the fan base has also said the same thing. People are saying, yeah, Santino, not familiar with this individual is, but the comment's quite interesting. It says this might lead to his downfall low-key. He's a great Nak Moy, which is obviously a good Muay Thai fighter. He doesn't need to be kickboxing champ to prove anything. There's killers in his division he can fight with. It's not fair to let him wait while you chase other things. Completely agree. I think having these fighters compete in different disciplines is okay, but as long as they're competitive enough. And to be quite frank, what I've noticed over the last, like, say, 2 years or so, it hasn't allowed fighters to progress. It's kind of stalemating fighters to move where Tawanchai, he's only, what, 27 years old. The dude can be fighting so much more, right? He's got a division that he hasn't fought really much of, if you're being realistic, right? In the featherweight Muay Thai division, he's only really fought Superbon. He's fought what's his name, Smoking Joe, Nadawood. You know what I mean? If I click on his name, let me just go Tawanchai. Okay. World champions. I don't remember him fighting against the full division. You know, he's had back-to-back fights with Superbon, back-to-back fights with Smoking Joe. So it's like, he didn't even fight the division. He's 26 years old. He didn't even fight the division. You know what I'm saying? So moving on doesn't make any sense. So if I look at his fights before fighting against Noiri, Superbon, Smoking Joe, Superbon, Smoking Joe, right? Then he fought Tafit Kiri, who's not even in the organization anymore, by the way. And that was a good opponent for him. And before that, he had Yamal, Pech Murakot, not bad fighters. Semapek, Sitachai. You know what I mean? Like, these are the guys he was coming up with. That was on his way to the title. Then he got the title, I think, against, I'm not mistaken, I think it was either Yamal or to Fit. But then he went Smoking Joe, Superbon, Smoking Joe, Superbon. So it's like you need to fight, and then also outside of Smoking Joe and Superbon, the other fighters that he fought against aren't even in the division anymore. They don't fight. A lot of them are not even fighting in the organization. A lot of these guys are actually released from the promotion. So he's fought only two fighters in the current division of featherweight. Only two, right? I'm looking at the unofficial top 10 rankings right now. And outside of Superbon, outside of Smoking Joe, there's nobody else that he's fought. He hasn't fought Luke Lissay. He hasn't fought Nico Carrillo. He hasn't fought Pampara. He hasn't fought Shadow. Unsuik just arrived to the brand right now. Luke Lissay has been there for 4 years. Hasn't even fought Luke Lissay yet. Muhammad Cesarani's on the come up. He hasn't fought Muhammad Cesarani. Muhammad Yunus Rabah can't even get a fight. Can't even make to a fight. So it's like he hasn't really gone through the division enough for me to go, okay, I want to see you fight kickboxing. It's like, no, dude, that doesn't make any sense. And also, the guy that's the champion now, the guy that you want to fight, is not even the champion anymore. So let that go to rest. Leave that as it is. You still have to fight against Liu Mingyang next week. If you lose that fight, then what? You still want to chase down Noiri? In my opinion, stick to what you're good at. He's absolutely the best guy when it comes to featherweight Muay Thai right now. He's number one in that TV. He's like the best, better than the best. He's the guy when it comes to featherweight Muay Thai. So I feel like, and then you got a division that's hungry. It's like lots of hungry title contenders here. In my opinion, defend the Muay Thai strap instead. Leave this kickboxing thing alone. You don't. His record in kickboxing is not the greatest. Leave that one alone. You don't have to prove anything there. People really love you for what you are. The way that you fight right now, you consider to be the elite of the elite. Just let it go. That's my opinion. If you guys got a different opinion on that one, please let me know in the comments chat about what you think about Tawanchai's sort of path or his hunger for this kickboxing title. I feel like he's more hungry to fight against Noiri than to fight for a championship. That's what it seems like. Because Noiri was the only fighter that actually blasted him out of the water like that. If you think about these fights in one championship, Tawanchai's fights, apart from losing to Sitachai, the only fighter that schooled him so badly was Noiri. No one else did. So I can understand why he's like, I want that fight back. But then get the fight back. It doesn't have to be your main goal as like my championship. Because Noiri's probably not gonna, I don't know if he's gonna fight Superbon immediately. He's probably gonna have to get another fight first before he gets that fight again. So I would say let Tawanchai defend the Muay Thai strap. There's too many guys in that division that want to fight against him right now. Not even just want to, they have to. They don't have a choice. They are contenders. No, Canelo just took out Luke Lissay. In my opinion, let him go, bruh. Let him have the shot against Tawanchai. I don't know if he beats Tawanchai, but I'd say let that fight happen. Otherwise, you're gonna stagnate that division again, and we don't want to see that. Because then when people are really upset about not watching fighters heavier than 155, it's like, can we please get the bigger guys start to fight more? You know what I'm saying? But give me your opinion, guys. What do you think about Tawanchai's new goals? While I keep it moving to the next one. Let's go. Okay. Now we'll talk about Aliff and Prajanchai. So which is what I was going to start with, but I messed up my order there. But okay, thank you for staying with me. So this is the information that's come out. So if you don't know, Aliff and Prajanchai have been having some words online, and the history goes back to earlier in the year when Aliff won. I'm not remember who he beat last. Let me just double check here. But he beat a fighter. He had a very good fight, very good showing, and he won his fight. And then they did a face off with Prajanchai in the ring, and then immediately there was this whole thing of like, okay, we're gonna do 175 in Malaysia, maybe December 2025 or early 2026. Did a video on that a few months ago, and he beat Al Jamadi, Al-Hamidi Al Jamadi. He beat Al Jamadi, and then he had a face off. So it's kind of like already guaranteed now. It's like you guys are gonna fight each other, right? Because you got a face off in the ring, and the world can see it. This is what we're building up for. But then They give Ramadan and Dash a contract after beating Chat Payak, deservedly, by the way. That's well done to you on his part. And then they set up this fight between Aliff and Ramadan and Dash, which is a little bit of a slap in the face to Aliff, if you think about it, considering that he was already facing off with the champ. So he didn't really have to take this fight against Ramadan and Dash, but he did anyway, right? And it was a great performance. The fight took place last week. I see this. I see a lot of fan base. People are saying um, that they felt Ramadan and Dash should have won the fight. Aliff was running away all the time, and all this stuff. And to be quite honest with you, watching the fight back, not once but twice, um, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think it was running away. Because I've seen fights where fighters run away, and this wasn't that. You know, if you think about the fight between Nitikon and Pet Sam, Nitikon ran away for 2 rounds. He had 2 rounds. He didn't throw a single shot. And he kept grappling in a Muay Thai fight. Now, that's running away. Like Keith Kulazada, when he fought against Chao Ci, got the knockdown in round 1, round 2 and round 3, pretty much just backed up the whole time and like barely threw any strikes, which I found very weird considering the performance he put in the first round. I was like, why didn't he just do that all the time? You know what I mean? The fight wasn't won by then. And I feel like that goes back to the conversation we had a few weeks ago about the rule set. Now that's dictating how these fighters are actually fighting, where they'll bag a knockdown in the first round and then they'll just basically run away, right? And Akif didn't have to do that, in my opinion. Kulazada now, when he fought against Chao Ci, I think that he was the dominant fighter. He was bigger and stronger. He didn't have to fight so heavily defensively, because he had advantages all the time. And when he was going forward, he landed on Chao Ci every single time. And that's how I felt it was weird to see him fight that way for 2 rounds. Aliff, on the other hand, didn't do that. You could argue that Aliff may have slipped that first round away. Ramadan might have caught him in that first round. It was a very close round. On the live stream, I said Ramadan was. I had Aliff winning that first round, but I also said when we were watching it live, I was like, very close, like very close. Like Ramadan did a lot in that first round to actually make it in his favor, which is why I said going into the second round, Aliff had to do something big to win it. He had to do something big to get that second round, and then he landed the jumping knee. Boom, gets the knockdown, wins that second round. Not only with the jumping knee, but he outstruck Ramadan in that second round. Then Ramadan and Nash knew that because the knockdown was so significant that he had to get it back in the third round, which is why he was so aggressive and pushing the pace. But he became one-dimensional. He became a little bit too predictable in that third round, which made it easy for Aliff to just basically put the guard up and just defend. You know, just be even wob, get out of the way, tag him. He made Ramadan and Dash miss a lot of strikes in that third round, and then also landed on him, tagged him with elbows, got out of the way, tagged him again, reverse positions. So for me, there's like, I don't know if you can count that running away, especially when you consider the kind of fight style that Ramadan and Dash fights. You know what I mean? I think it would be an absolute fool to want to fight against that kind of fight style the same way. It's just like John Lineker, exactly the same way. Everybody knew when they fought against John Lineker, you don't fight him like that. You don't go in there and just have it a slugfest. That's foolish. You're going to get knocked out. You're going to lose that fight. 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose the fight. Just like Ramadan and Dash, you don't box him that way. You have to fight him a bit more technically. You have to be sharper. You have to fight out at range. You can't be in range for too long because that's where he does his best work. So you have to fight. You have to tag and move. Dominic fucking Cruz built the entire division off that style, and no one is discouraging him about it. So my whole thing is like, you can't call that running away. And this is what was said by Prajanchai about this. He said after the win, no. This is what Prajanchai was saying. I have it back to front here. Yeah, I have it back to front here. But this is what he had to say. Let me just bring it up on screen quickly. 1 second. Prajanchai basically was attacking Aliff's running antiques in the fight against Ramadan and Dash. So this is what he said. So Prajanchai was saying, doesn't want to face me. Prajanchai said he doesn't want to face me. He wants to face Ramadan. Let him fight Ramadan first, and if he wins, then he can fight me, right? And then Prajanchai said, sorry, but can I go practice my running first? So obviously taking shots at Ramadan at Aliff. saying that because he feels that Aliff was running away in the fight against Ramadan on Dash. I don't agree. Also, you heard my explanation now. I don't agree. And then Aliff's response was a little bit difficult to understand. I'm not going to lie. It felt a little bit cryptic. I'm not sure if he's actually insulting Prajanchai or if he's insulting himself. But this was his response. He says, "I'll buy new running shoes. I'll run too. Catch me if you can. This time, I'll run all the way back to Malaysia." So based on what he's saying, I'm gathering that he's saying that, okay, you think I'm running all the time? That's fine. I'll get new running shoes after I beat you. Catch me if you can, basically saying that you're not going to be able to catch Aliff. Aliff's going to be too fast and too elusive. And also run away, run all the way back to Malaysia. Hinting that maybe taking the title back to Malaysia or fighting for the title in Malaysia. So I do believe that they're probably going to do 175 in Malaysia. That's going to be the fight card for this one. 175, 175. 176 April, 175 Malaysia. Let's see. Or it could be a fight night event instead. But that was his response. A lot of fan bases didn't like it. Or saying, whack ass response, not gonna lie. I don't know if it's a whack response or not. The fact that there's engagement and the fact that there's some back and forth between the fighters for me is a big deal because I'm a big fan of respect on fighting. Right? I'm a big fan of respect of fighting, but it's a big but. One championship does need sort of an injection of something to sort of take them higher, right? And to be quite frank, I feel what's missing are characters, personalities. Rukia Anpo, although he was underwhelming in his performance against Marat Gregorian, his stuff he says on the microphone, Rukio's as well, it does create a buzz. It generates some bad blood between fighters. It creates a buzz, and that's what makes people want to tune in to watch. People want to watch that. They want to say, "Now I want to watch this fight because these guys genuinely don't like each other." You know what I'm saying? That's what we want to see. So I like that this tit for tat going between Prajanchai and Aliff. This is what Prajanchai had to say after all the back and forth. He said, "I can fight Ramadan under any rule set, kickboxing or Muay Thai. I can defend my belt against Ramadan first, but right now I want to compete in kickboxing to gain more experience." So now it's like these guys are all just ducking each other the whole time. Everyone is just ducking each other here. Why on earth would Prajanchai, who I rate as quite a high elite striker in one championship, why would you say this? Why would you go and call out Ramadan Undash, who got his ass beat by the guy who faced off with you? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you doing? It doesn't look good on his part. And I like what Liam Addison also says in the comments. Shout out to Liam Addison for following us back. This is what he said. You can't clearly lose a fight and then get a title shot. What on earth is happening here? I love it. I love the response. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Prajanchai has to defend the Muay Thai strap. He lost the kickboxing title. I don't know why he wants to go back to kickboxing. JDB is obviously going to beat him again. So it's like, I say obvious because JDB did beat him significantly in that second fight. Like it was almost a 5-round shutout. And then in the first fight, I had to watch it back to remove my Prajanchai goggles and actually realize that even the first fight could have been JDB's. So I wouldn't really want to see them fight for a third time, even though they 1-1. I don't know if I want to see it again because I think JDB is actually ahead of Prajanchai now. So I feel like he's got a Muay Thai title. Let's defend that, just like Tawanchai. Let's defend this title. Your division is growing. There's Sam A. There's Toil and Tet. The list goes on. I think Sam A is fighting someone now coming up very soon in this division. There's Abdallah and Dash. There's a whole bunch of fucking killers when it comes to the strawweight Muay Thai division right now. So I feel like he doesn't have to go back to kickboxing where it's a bit of a sparse division, if you're being honest. So I'm like, defend it here. You've already had a face-off with Aliff. Let's just make the fight happen. You beat the guy that you want to fight against. You don't need to fight against Ramadan. Ramadan is only 19 years old. Give that kid time. Let him grow. Let him go through another 2 or 3 more fights before he's already contracted, right? Let him go through a Toilet and Tet. Let him go through a Sam A first. And then he can come up there and that point, or even give him Ellis Barboza next. There you go. Then we can say, all right, you've gone through some killers, guys who fought for championships, former title contenders, former champions themselves. Now you can go up there and say, let me get Prajanchai or Aliff again, depending on who the champion is after that. Because he's young, he doesn't have to win the title at 19 years old. He can wait. He can troll. You know what I mean? This is not a lower league competition. This is now the big leagues. So you can He can take his time. Just like who was it that said it? Azamjan Otikov. He's like, I'm not in a rush, guys. I'm progressively getting there. When I get there, I will fight against the best guys. Or I'll fight against the champions. There's no rush. There's really no need to be a rush. For Aliff, he's a little bit older, but even for him, 21 years old, he doesn't really have to be competing for a title. It just so happens that he's beaten everybody else that he has to go for the title now. And Prajanchai mustn't be this kind of coward-like behavior. Give the guy the chance. When you were coming up, people gave you a chance to become a champion. Give Aliff a chance to become a champion. If you can beat him and he's not worthy, then prove it in the ring. Go in there and beat him. But I think the fight should happen, and it's probably going to be in Malaysia. But give me your thoughts on that one, please, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it moving. Okay, we're gonna talk about the fight card that will be taking place next week, Friday. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the last fight card for one championship. Just to see for the year 2025. So we have yes, it is. So this fight card on screen right now, One Friday Fights 137, is the final fight card for one championship of 2025. So we're going to talk about it a little bit. I'm not going to break any fights down. I'm not going to give you some any X's and O's. Just want to talk about some of the matchups and why they're so exciting. Joshua is in the strawweight division as well. That is absolutely insane. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of contenders now for the guys in this division. I feel like Prajanchai needs to look at that and not think about fighting kickboxing where there isn't really any contenders outside of JDB. I know this Rui Patolo is coming up now, but I think JDB is going to smoke him as well when they fight each other. It's probably going to be the next fight there. But anyway, Tawanchai and Liu Mingyang, kickboxing featherweight. I think this fight doesn't really. I don't know why it's bothering me so much. I think Tawanchai is actually not making the best moves with this one. But anyway, it's going to be a good fight. He's probably going to beat Liu Mingyang. But Liu Mingyang seems to be proving everybody wrong. Every fight he goes into, we're all like, oh, he's probably going to lose this one. But then he wins and he wins and he keeps winning. So let's see what happens here. I do believe he's got a bit of boxing than Tawanchai. As an overall kickboxing specialist, I do think Mingyang is a slightly better fighter there. But Tawanchai is dangerous, guys, and he can win, he can beat anybody. So let's see what happens on that one there. But that's going to be a fun fight to watch. Kulabdam and PTT, that's going to be insane. I'm a bit worried for Kulabdam here, just because PTT doesn't really go down. He's hard to knock out. He's hard to even rock. He's hard to put down. Kulabdam, powerful striker, right? But Kulabdam is chutney. You can hit him and he can go down. I've seen him get dropped before. I mean, Nabil put him away. You know what I'm saying? So there's that element of it. But I don't know if PTT has got the sort of the technical side of fighting that can bother Kulabdam. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of he's so durable that he will stay in the pocket long enough to actually throw something on Kulabdam, like land a big shot on him. That's what I feel Kulabdam can get caught. Kulabdam has looked so good since losing to Nabil. Since that was the last loss he took as well. And since then, he's just been looking like he's on a mission. He's on a big mission. So that's going to be a big fight, dude. It's going to be a big fight. Sua Black taking on Pakkorn. This is going to be a good fight as well. Good to see Pakkorn back. I haven't seen him in a while. Good to see him back again. Sua Black, just again, 2025 has been his year. I hope to see him close it off with a big win again. Sam A, Zhao Siyai, that's massive strawweight Muay Thai. Zhao Siyai's strawweight debut. I feel like he's going to actually be very dangerous in this division because it's going to be a weight class that actually matches his height and size. I feel like Zhao Siyai is probably going to be the best he's ever going to be in this division here. And also look at the test he's going to get first. Sam A, arguably one of the most decorated champions of one championship. Like this guy is a legend to take on right now, and he's schooling these young cats. Yod IQ and Ubus Osmanov, big fight for Yod IQ. I think a win over Osmanov gives him a contract. I think Ubus Osmanov a win here definitely pushes him up into the rankings. Not top 5, but definitely top 10. Because Yod IQ is in the top 10, even though he's not a contracted fighter yet, which I find weird. He should be, in my opinion, he should be contracted already. That win over Osmanov definitely puts him into that contract, or gives him that contract for sure. Smoking Joe Nutterwood makes his return against Mohamed Sarani. That's another big fight again. Top contendership going on here. Win over here. Definitely puts himself back into title contention, especially Smoking Joe. I think for Mohamed Sarani, I think he's also playing the long game. He's only 23 years old. He's taken out champions. He beat Kaito Uno. He beat he lost to Liu Mingyang. I think, let me just double check that. But he's beaten some big names. Yeah, he beat Oscar Sahit last. Kaito Uno, he beat Liu Ming Yang. Lost to Kun Suwek. Lost to Shadow. Beat Sitachai. Like, look at the names. Twice, by the way, I think it was. Um, yeah, beat Avatar as well. So, like, CS Rani is definitely 23 years old. He's definitely climbing up that rankings. And he's beaten out big names, but he's patiently just getting there. He's another guy that I can see in that. This is a Muay Thai fight as well, right? He's switching between the two disciplines. I feel like if he sticks to kickboxing, he can fight for title within next year. Muay Thai, I'm not so sure. But a winner when Smoking Joe will definitely change the narrative if he beats Smoking Joe. Now that would. We have Zhang Paiman, the fighting Rooster taking on Tong Poon. It's gonna be a good fight as well. Still with kickboxing. Good to see Tong Poon switching to disciplines here. I'm not too sure if he's gonna win this fight because Zhang Paiman is a very good kickboxer. He's also very, very young. That's gonna be a fun fight. Gang Sang Lek taking on Suryan Lek, flyweight Muay Thai. Fun fight. Someone's gonna go to sleep in that fight for sure. Every time Suryan Lek fights in the fight, he's always looking for knockouts. And Gang Sang Lek is a very sharp striker with a lot of power in his hands. Someone's definitely going to sleep over there. Dead one leg technician taking on Shimon Yoshinari, the masters of technician. This guy, he's something special. And I think this is going to be a tough fight for Dead one leg. He's obviously a high level technician kind of guy. Doesn't have a lot of knockout power. But Yoshinari is just a different breed, different animal. Let's see what that fight looks like. I've got Yoshinari for a win there, but let's see. Then opening up the bout, or at least I don't know if it's opening up the bout because I see here on the side they're saying more fights to be announced. So we're probably going to get more fights throughout this week, maybe even next week. Maybe only for this week. How much is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we need 2 more fights on the card to complete this fight card. But Duang Danoi is back taking on Regan Going. I'm not too familiar with Regan Going, but Duang Danoi is just a monster. Powerful, powerful fighter, deadly elbows, good boxing, deadly kicks. I'm keen to see what she looks like in this division because I think atomweight is a weight that she's actually going up. From being honest, the last fight she was slightly undersized. She was actually lighter than the atomweight division, but she competed in. So she is a bit small, but Dynamite come in small packages, and she's got Dynamite for sure. So let's see what happens here. But that's gonna be a fun fight card. I can't wait for it. That's next week. And then the last fight card I want to talk about. There aren't many fights that have been announced just yet, but the fights that have been announced are amazing. Let's just go through it quickly. I'll bring it up on screen for you guys now. All right, here we go. One fight at 39. It's gonna be live 24th of January. That's literally on AD's birthday. His birthday is 24th of January, so we're gonna be doing a nice live for his birthday. Kickstart the celebrations. But I mean, look at that poster. That's not even the main event. That's the co-main event. And look at that poster. Right? We have Kong Torani taking on Asadullah Iman Ghazali. That is insane. That is insane. Oh my word. What a fight you're gonna get there. Asadullah is a beast. He's probably gonna put Kong Torani in trouble there. But Kong Torani has to fight this fight aggressively. He's gonna have to target the legs a lot. And none of this back up, low kick, back up, low kick, and then someone comes in close, punch, elbow, get out of the clinch, back up. I want to see him get aggressive. I want to see him push Asadullah back, push him back. Don't make him, because Asadullah, if you give him any space or any time or any types of distance, gets on his bike and he starts bouncing around you like you're nothing. And he's throwing axe kicks and all types of spinning shit and you don't know what's going on. And then once he starts moving like that, you're not going to stop him. So I want Kong Tanani not to take the back foot up here and actually just meet him in the middle and punch a hole in his fucking chest. Shout out to Ray Longo. Rambo Lek and Abdullah Dayakayev. Finally, I think this fight has been booked already. Let's please make it happen. Hopefully, none of these guys get injured. Hopefully, Dayakayev's hand isn't going to be swollen again. And we can get these guys to fight because this is the fight everybody wants to see. I actually am looking forward to that one really because it's going to predict who will be fighting for titles next. So let's see. Now, Abdullah Dayakayev trains with Nabila Anand. So that will be a very interesting fight. They must fight each other. And then we have 2 debut fighters here that I'm not too familiar with, but I think Elena Kreva, if I'm not mistaken, she's ranked number 1 in the world when it comes to women's bantamweight submission grappling or women's jiu-jitsu. That's 145 pounds, 65 kilograms. She's number 1 in the world right now. Only 18 years old. She looks jacked. for 145 pound. But let's see what happens here. She looks really deadly. Taking on Tisha Neolani Olo. Not familiar with her either. I don't know. I haven't seen them fight before. I just watched some tape because I saw the names and I was like, okay, let me see who they are. Let me see what this buzz is. And it should be a fun fight. I don't know if Tisha is ranked in the top 10 in the world right now, but yeah, Elena is. So let's see what this fight look like. Where we stand here at Fighting with Friends when it comes to the jiu-jitsu fights at one championship. We kind of feel like it should be moved on and doesn't have to be on the fight cards anymore. But okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. If you liked it, so if you have come this far, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We love all the support. We are growing ever so slightly. Each little click that you guys provide does take us to our next step, into our next goal. So I want to say thank you to all of that. But for myself and the Fighting with Friends team, you have yourself a fantastic week. Catch us tomorrow. We will be doing a UFC preview for the UFC fight card, Manal Cup versus Brandon Royval. Thursday, we'll be doing a preview for One Friday Fights 136, and then we'll be live for One Friday Fights 136. So I hope to see all of you there. From myself and the Fighting with Friends team, have yourself a good one, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, everybody.